Josh Beckett's miserable season continues, and as it does, Red Sox Nation wants this guy out of Boston immediately. But I'll tell you why it's not going to be that easy for the Red Sox to do it, because they simply don't have a lot of options. Hey everybody, it's Paulie. Welcome back to This Week in Red, where we're talking all things Red Sox and Major League Baseball. Okay, Red Sox fans, I know you're annoyed with Josh Beckett, and you've had enough and you're fed up, but running him out of Boston is not going to be the answer for the Red Sox and their management team. Yes, Josh Beckett's had a terrible season. He has not pitched up to his abilities. And yes, we've talked about it on this show ad nauseum. If he and Jon Lester had even been 500 pitchers this year, the Red Sox are probably in the thick of the wild card race. But it hasn't worked out that way. And most of the vitriol for the performance of these two guys seems to have shifted Beckett's way, because Lester is kind of a quiet guy and unassuming, and he's actually pitched a little bit better in his last couple starts. Whereas Beckett, because of his quote-unquote attitude, is a guy that the Red Sox fans want gone from Boston. And I'm a little annoyed by that, because honestly, Josh Beckett is the same guy and has the same attitude that he had back when he was a winning pitcher back in 2007 and in other seasons with the Red Sox. He's the same surly guy who's short and curt with the media, with one-word answers after a start. He was the same way in 2007 when he was pitching circles around the Cleveland Indians and the Colorado Rockies in the postseason. So I don't want to hear this idea that the Red Sox got to move Josh Beckett out of Boston because of his attitude. He's the same guy. Now, if you want to say you got to move him because of performance, that's another story. But you know what? The bottom line is the Red Sox hands are tied right now in trying to move Josh Beckett, if indeed that's what they're thinking of doing. He has not pitched well, so his value is at an all-time low. He makes too much money, so unless the Red Sox can somehow work a magical deal before the August 31st deadline, in which his contract would clear waivers, allowing them to trade him, you could expect Josh Beckett to be on this team for the foreseeable future. He'll certainly be on it for the rest of the year, barring a miracle trade. And I think he's going to be here next year as well, because the Red Sox management is smart enough to know they're not going to trade Josh Beckett for pennies on the dollar. They're going to go out there and look for a deal that's going to give them equal or close to equal value. This is not a Kevin Youkilis situation where you had a young guy like Will Middlebrooks waiting in the wings to take over the position with no questions asked. The Red Sox do not have an ace in waiting to take over for Josh Beckett, and they're not going to take pennies on the dollar and just trade him for the sake of doing so. So if you're a Red Sox fan and you're upset at Beckett, you better get used to the fact that unless he's moved before August 31st, he'll be on this team in the near future. Now, usually when I ask for your comments at the end of a clip, 1- or 2-word answers usually suffice, but this time, I really want you to get in depth with your comments. As Red Sox fans, because Josh Beckett's having such a poor season and you're fed up, tell me, what exactly would you like the Red Sox to do with Josh Beckett, considering the options that they have right now? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends about This Week in Red.